Domain 4. Curriculum and planning, including the analysis of the different types of lesson plan, methods, and materials. Good day, curricularist! At the end of this activity, the field study student must be able to achieve the following learning outcomes. First, identify what type of curriculum are utilized in DepEd schools. Second, describe how teaching and learning processes are sequenced to meet the curricular needs and requirements. Third, determine the teaching learning resources and ICT that facilitates teaching and learning process. And fourth, evaluate resources in the virtual learning environment. Allow me to introduce to you my faculty members. From the head teacher of Curriculum Department, we have Mr. Ronald Datwin and Ma'am Hannah Lorraine Casabar. Observation Report.
Type of curriculum. We have number 1, recommended curriculum. Example, K-12 Science Curriculum for Grade 7. It is located under Department of Education. May I read the description? It suggests curricula which comes from those who have higher positions. It explains the concept and plans that should be implemented in the teaching and learning process. Number 2, written curriculum. Example, lesson plan, learning materials, curriculum guide, teacher's guide. It is located under DepEd Order number 42, Series 2016, Policy Guidelines on Daily Lesson Preparation for the K-12 Basic Education Program. Description: a curriculum which is already signed by the higher authority and approved to deliver in the class. It is a specific plan which intends to provide more effective and accurate teaching learning process which is still aligned to what the education system wanted to them. Number 3, the taught curriculum. Example, prepared activities intended to be done. Description: these are the various activities that teachers should provide in order to target, execute the objectives or intended outcomes based on the written curriculum. Number 4, we have the supported curriculum. Example, includes the backup resources in case needed in support to the curriculum textbooks, software, and other media materials to make learning and teaching more effective to everyone. Example, books, printed materials, and use of technology. It is located under DepEd Order number 018 Series 2020, Policy Guidelines for the Provision of Learning Resources of the Implementation in the Basic Education Learning Community Plan. Description: these are resources that support or help the teacher in order to have an effective and engaging teaching as well as to learning.
Assist curriculum. Example, summative assessment, formative assessment, written or oral assessment like activities, quizzes, examination, or recitation. It is located in lesson plan and in written curriculum. Description: activities that prepared by the teacher to identify if the intended learning outcome is achieved. Learned curriculum. Example, attitude, ethics, knowledge, and skills that acquired by the student. It is located based on the assessment of grading sheet of the teacher. This type of curriculum indicates what the student have learned. The capability that the student should demonstrate at the end of the lesson can be measured through learning outcomes. Hidden curriculum. Examples: respecting authority, respect for other student opinions, punctuality, aspiring to achieve and having a work ethic. It is based on the thought and action of the students whether they are inside or outside of the school. It refers to unwritten rules, values, and normative patterns of behavior which students are expected to conform to and learn while in school.
Moving to the elements and components of a curriculum department headed by Mr. Dennis Caranto, together with Ma'am Sunshine Carino and Ma'am Heidi Carpizo.
Thank you, Madam Principal. We pair and compared two different lesson plans based on the elements or components of a curriculum. First is the behavioral objectives or desired learning outcomes. The content of the lesson plan is aligned with the desired learning outcomes such as cognitive, affective, and psychomotor skill components. The subject matter is appropriate for the lesson's level and relevant in terms of their knowledge and concepts. It is organized in a sequential order, beginning with the review, motivation, presentation of the lesson, and development of the lesson. The content is well organized and the explanation is concise and straightforward.
Second, content. Subject matter, holistic health. The information and concept concerning holistic health are reflected in the material. It is about seeing our health and fitness as a function of all factors. Content will give the students all information about concept and dimensions of holistic health.
I noticed that the choice of teaching strategies or approaches is based on the desired outcomes. Collaborative learning as a strategy is utilized to help students learn more effectively. As a result, the lesson plan approaches or strategies are visible. In addition, technology is used into the process. After reviewing the lesson plan, I believe the evaluation was outstanding because it includes a variety of assessments that can be used to satisfy the curriculum's objectives. The assessment looks at how well you remember facts about the topic and how well you can apply what you've learned. In addition, the evaluation method was appropriate for the situation since it genuinely measures the student knowledge.
In lesson plan department, we have Miss Genevieve Fernandez, the head teacher, together with Ma'am Aliyah Elivazo.
Thank you, Madam Principal. Motivation. In this part of the lesson, based on the downloaded lesson plan, the teacher showed a short video clip to catch the attention of the students. This is also a way to give the students a glimpse of the lesson that will be discussed. Presentation of the lesson. In this part of the lesson, the teacher asked the students prior knowledge based on the short video clip. The teacher used cryptogram for the students to solve the puzzle. That is consists of terms of the lesson. Development of the lesson. In this part of the lesson, the teacher asked the students insight about the topic. The teacher presented the lesson using a PowerPoint presentation that was projected in the board. The teacher discussed the dimensions of holistic health and gave insights in each dimension on how to improve it. Generalization. In this part of the lesson, the teacher asked questions on what the students have learned about the topic. The teacher discussed the importance and the main idea of the topic that will give an impact in the learning process of the students. This is where the students are challenged to critically think as they absorb all the knowledge that has imparted to them.
Application, enrichment, or fixing skills. In this part of the lesson, the teacher grouped the students into three and gave materials such as envelopes, where it contains the directions of the given activity. This is to test the students if they have clearly understood the lesson. Evaluation or assessment. In this part of the lesson, the teacher tests the students' knowledge and understanding by answering a 10-item quiz. This occurs to the teaching-learning process to clarify and ensure student learning and understanding.
After you observe or view a recorded online class, what did you notice about the flow of activities and the congruence of each activity to the objective intended learning outcome?
As I observe, the given activities are compatible to the objective or student learning outcomes presented. The activities were complementing the three domains, which is the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. This is to ensure that the desired learning outcomes are acquired and achieved by the students.
Now, let's proceed to Analyzation Department. We have Mr. Jake Espana, the head teacher, together with Mr. Cholo Damasco.
Thank you, Madam Principal.
Analyze. How did you know that there exists such curriculum in the DepEd schools and laboratory schools?
The most important thing in an educational system is the curriculum because it is the heart. If there's no such curriculum in basic education, teachers don't know what to do, what to teach, and what to implement. It serves as their guidance in teaching. It helps the learning progress of the students.
How can educational experiences be effectively organized and contribute to the attainment of objectives intended learning outcomes?
As a teacher, we need to plan. The end goal must be clearly defined. It would be useful to prepare an objectives or intended learning outcomes regarding the aspects of elements that can be appropriately introduced at each maturity level of the student. Consider what your students need to achieve in the course. Are they expected to simply comprehend the text, or do they need to analyze it? As a result of planning, it is important to note what within the curriculum is effective and what needs improvement.
From the lesson plan, analyze, evaluate the resources, and compare it with the resources in the virtual learning environment.
Based on the lesson plan in the virtual learning environment and the lesson plan that I've analyzed, are both use-effective resources that contributes to a meaningful teaching and learning process. Based on the lesson plan that I analyzed, the teacher used printed materials to present examples to his students for them to have in-depth knowledge about the lesson. More than the learning of the students, it depends on how will the teacher plan and organize his or her lessons and the instruction.
Last but not the least, from Reflection Department headed by Miss Rosemary de Guzman with Sir John Paul Fernando. Reflection. As a pre-service teacher, how do you plan, manage, and implement developmentally sequenced teaching and learning process to meet curriculum requirement in varied teaching context?
As a pre-service teacher in the near future, we were going to plan, manage, and implement developmental sequence in teaching and learning process according to the needs of the students. This will be organized by the following. First, we need to check the students' knowledge, skill levels, and potential misconceptions. By that, we can now identify the specific learning goals. We also need to establish strong strategies in teaching and learning activities. And lastly, to give assessment that evaluate the students' understanding at the end of the lesson.
How do you set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes which are aligned with learning competencies?
Good design always starts with a good understanding of the desired result. As a future educator, in order to design learning experience and opportunities for our students, we need to articulate the specific learning goals, which is the knowledge, understanding, skills, traits, and behavior that need of a students in order for them to be successful professional citizens. Our purpose is to help our students improve their learning and understanding by providing quality teaching performance.
Okay, we have the different dimensions of holistic health. We have number one, the physical health. Okay, physical health is the ability to carry on with everyday activities that results from regular exercise, good nutrition, and adequate rest and sleep. Okay? So, anong pagkakaintindi niyo pag when you say physical health?